On the morning of October 17th, the tight-knit community of Maple Hollow, Virginia, was jolted awake. Claire Whitmore, a beloved 34-year-old nurse at the Maple Hollow Regional Clinic, never showed up for her shift. She wasn't the type to disappear. Neighbors described her as warm, dedicated, and deeply rooted in the community. But when her car was found parked at home, her phone and wallet left untouched on the kitchen counter, and her front door still locked, the horrifying possibility emerged. Claire was missing, and no one had seen or heard from her since the night before. The initial theory, a random act of violence. Maybe she stepped out and never came back. Police scoured the surrounding woods and farmland. Bloodhounds followed her scent to the edge of her gravel driveway, and then nothing, like she had simply evaporated. No forced entry, no signs of struggle, no calls from her phone. The community rallied with posters and candlelight vigils, but leads were scarce. That changed when police found a private journal hidden beneath Claire's mattress. Inside, she wrote about a man she referred to only as E. Someone who, she said, made her feel small, controlled the narrative, and worst of all, someone she feared. Detectives followed the only clue they had: a neighbor's report of Claire entering a black SUV late at night a few weeks before she vanished. The neighbor had even noted down the license plate. It traced back to Dr. Eric Langston, a 46-year-old surgeon at the same hospital where Claire once worked part-time. Dr. Langston was respected, well-known, and married. But once investigators started digging, cracks appeared. The malpractice suit quietly settled. Rumors of inappropriate relationships with subordinates. A pattern of female nurses leaving or transferring suddenly. A search warrant led detectives to his secluded cabin outside of town. Hidden in a crawl space beneath the floorboards, they found Claire's scarf, tangled, dirt-stained, and unmistakably hers. Faced with mounting evidence, Langston eventually confessed. He and Claire had been involved in an affair, one he was desperate to keep hidden. When Claire threatened to expose him to his wife and hospital board, he claimed she became hysterical, and during an argument, she fell and hit her head. Rather than seek help, he panicked. He drove her body to his cabin, buried her in a shallow grave, and locked away the truth. It wasn't just an accident. It was a decision to protect his image, his career, and his secret. Dr. Eric Langston was arrested and charged with second-degree murder. He was later sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Claire's remains were returned to her family and buried in Maple Hollow. At her funeral, hundreds gathered: patients, neighbors, and fellow healthcare workers. Main Street was lit with candles, and flowers lined the clinic steps where she once stood, smiling and selfless.